Lost the intro track.
No! Tune in now to your two dad show. Ooh, JJ and Deacon, they're the ones in the know.
And Dave.
And Dave.
Subscribe quick, the Squid Monster's on the way. Conspire with us, tomorrow's news today. Oh yeah.
News like presidential candidate RFK Jr. is endorsing the policies of President Joe Biden. We'll talk about that soon. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm JJ. That's Dave. That's Deacon, and we are your internet dads. Can the house band? Can you guys bring the volume down? Just thank you. All the way to 0. Yeah, that's what we asked. Good morning, everybody. We meet here Monday through Friday at 8 o'clock in the morning to drink coffee like a girl dad and talk about the news, politics, all the important stuff, Twitter. We'll laugh at people.
Can I say something here real quick?
Please,
so
yes.
I ran out of coffee and creamer yesterday here at the
That
radio.
does not look like black coffee, sir.
No, it never is black coffee with me, sir. I like a little coffee with my cream and sugar. So I ran out of coffee here at the radio station yesterday, so I ran up to the convenience store to get me my coffee. And, you know, I'm a creature of habit. I do the same thing, get the cup, they hit the same thing, go over to the little, they've got like 4 different little things with the coffee creamers, right? Mm-hmm. And I always go to the same one because they have the caramel coffee creamer, the caramel macchiato, and I like that. I'm like, ooh, that's
sugar. That's
yummy.
what it is. You like the sugar.
It's yummy. So I put some of those in there. I put like 4 or 5 of those in there, and then, you know, stir it up and get back here to the station. And I take a big swig of my coffee here. That's very nutty. God, that tastes like a pine tree. Oh, that's hazelnut. Shit, they put the wrong thing in the wrong place. I didn't look, and I just grabbed it and put it in. It tastes like I'm drinking a tree root.
Nasty.
What's wrong with drinking tree roots? That's a question we should put in our channels. How do you like your coffee?
That's a good. That's it. Why don't we put that in the chat right now since nobody's here? We'll get one.
Yeah.
We'll get one answer.
Coffee. Yeah.
Black is midnight on a moonless night.
All right, that's fine. I can only drink coffee like that when it's in dire straits.
Now, if I'm stressed, I will drink the Frou Frou Girl coffee.
I drink the Frou Frou Girl coffee all the time.
Okay.
Oh, really?
JJ looks like a black coffee drinker.
It's completely black.
Yeah,
I get offended when the waitress brings a plate of milk or creamer or whatever to the table. I'm like, you can just take that back to the refrigerator or wherever you got that trash from.
I can tell you what kind of coffee JJ drank by one simple fact that I know about him. He drinks bourbon. If you drink bourbon, there is a 99% chance you drink black coffee.
I did not know that.
And
man, over the weekend, my wife and I were at my wife and I stayed at a casino resort over the weekend. I didn't gamble $1. I can't stand gambling. You guys are dumb if you're gambling. But we stayed at a casino resort, and I did go to some of their fancy restaurants in there, and I tried some fancy bourbon or fancier bourbon.
Bourbon. Yeah.
I mean, it was too expensive.
Richer?
Honestly,
did you feel more fancy?
No, I mean, it tasted good. It was smooth, but you know, I'm all right with my
I got some
stuff that feels paint.
I got some 119 proof moonshine in the freezer made by a redneck hillbilly named Stanley in the middle of his farm here in Western Kentucky, and it tastes better than anything you've ever had.
One day I'll get there. I will get there. All right. I do like bourbon though. I'm not saying it's a gallon a week of bourbon, but I have a frequent flyer card at Specs is what I got. All right. A problem, I guess.
I would guess that Dave is not a drinker, and I'm not a big drinker. I maybe will have 3 drinks the entire year.
We're talking like a year, maybe.
Joey says he likes coffee black too.
Oh, I could have told you that.
Yeah, of course. And hey, guys, speaking of black, Let's talk about RFK Jr.'s endorsement of Biden's policy. RFK Jr. backs Biden admin that would prioritize
Where's my
farm aid
professional
based.
segue by JJ?
Why am I here?
It would prioritize farm aid based on race and give $5 billion in reparations to black farmers. All right, I guess he doesn't want to like be president at all. Whatever. Hey, let's go with Wormbrain. Let's see what Wormbrain says. RFK Jr. has come out in support of a provision in the Biden administration's American Rescue Plan that sought to dole out $5 billion in reparations to farmers of color in the United States. The program was administered by the Department of Agriculture, boosted by Agriculture Security, Tom blah, blah, and overturned by a federal court. The federal court said, you can't do this. The court stated it was not legally permissible to attempt to remedy past discrimination by discriminating against others in the present. Something that seems logical and obvious. You can't just like, let's just, there was discrimination some years ago. Let's just do some more discrimination in a different direction. It'll all work out. Nobody will be aggrieved at that point.
A real question here is, what is the logical thinking of, is there any logical thinking, and what is it of these people that say this? Because if you look at history, and any sane, rational person would realize, some really bad crap went on in history. Let's not do that again.
Yeah, that was bad. We all agree
that
was
to
bad.
Everyone. And we don't agree that it was, so let's not do that to anyone anymore. Let's learn.
We all agree it's bad. We all agree, right? Oh, you're going to do it to me now? But I thought we just agreed it was bad. But what? No, stop doing that to me.
I don't know.
Yeah, this is pandering. That's a pandering plan. Just like paying off debt of students, and then that doesn't happen. Kennedy said the plan is okay because the recipients of their race-based aid were entitled to the money because it had been stolen from their ancestors. That was not the perspective of the white farmers that brought the suit against the Biden administration, nor the court that prevented the plan from being implemented. Here's Kennedy's quote. Maybe see if I can do a when I'm in the White House. That's not good. How do I?
When I'm in the White House, you got to put more breath in your voice.
When I'm in the White House, I'm gonna get.
I don't want to make fun of RFK, because if I'm gonna make fun of RFK, it's gonna be for something else.
Yes, he's got a case of spasmodic dysphoria, I think, which is where your throat doesn't close up right or something like that.
Yeah, and being a person that uses my voice to make a living for 30 years, I'm not gonna pick at him for his. I don't like to pick at anybody for their voice.
All right. When I'm in the White House, I'm gonna get rid of those people in the USDA that get that money. That $5 billion is not money that is an entitlement. It's money that was a loan that black farmers were entitled to way back then, and it was stolen from them through discrimination. Okay. All right. So,
okay.
In 2024, should we be giving extra public money or land or something like that to black farmers because of,
I think the discussion
racism or whatever.
Not just black farmers, just black farmers, but if there is a chance that this individual can trace their heritage back and show, hey, did this negatively affect your family? Then let's have a conversation. But this is just too much blanket. Like, here we go, because not everybody who is African American in America today is descendant of. Right.
Not everybody that's a farmer today is a descendant of farmers.
Here's what I was going to say. Why don't we just say farmers, black, white, green, purple, yellow, red, whatever color you are. Why don't we say farmers?
Yeah.
And then let's give them some incentives, all of them collectively, instead of just black or white or whatnot.
Right.
Let's give all farmers some really great incentives and stuff to do stuff, because I don't know if everybody realizes this or not, but those are the people that keep us going. I live in
haven't
a
even.
farm
I'm going to one
community.
up you, sir. I'm going to one up you, sir.
For one more, go ahead.
I think we should add an additional requirement that anyone who serves in any legislative body should have been a farmer at one time. That's the way our country started, with farmers governing the country. So
You know
why
what?
don't
My youngest
farmers are smart. They got to do weather. They got to do. I mean, like the amount of like real sciences that they have to practice on a daily is
absolutely. You are exactly right.
so.
My daughter, my ex and my daughter, they have and their family have a chicken and goat farm, and they got a mule, and they got like 200 chickens and like 50 goats or something like that and whatnot. It's a bigger farm. And my daughter, who's 13, Maggie, had 2 softball games last night. 90 degrees in Kentucky last night. She had 2 softball games. She plays the catcher. Okay, up, down, up, down, up, down. So last night after I get off work here at about 10, I call to see if she was still up. And I was like, "Hey, Mags." She answered the phone. She's like, "Hey, Dad." And I was like, "Hey, Mags, what are you doing?" She was like, "I'm putting up the chickens." I'm like, "Oh, this is a little late." She's like, "Yeah." She's like, "Can I call you back? I'm standing knee deep in mud right now." I was like, "Yeah, babe, call me back." They just have a hobby farm.
Yeah.
So like you
Yeah.
said, get any one of these politicians or anything they're voting. You go to out at 10 p.m. and put up 200 chickens after it's rained all day,
Right.
because you just can't not. You've got to.
Yeah. No, there's more grit, and honestly, I'm very much for real. We should stop having lawyers run our government and start at lawyers and doctors and big pharma, and we should have actual like people that actually do work, be the ones making common sense law in our government. Ask a farmer if we should take out $35 trillion in debt. What's he gonna say?
I'm blanking on his name.
Sorry.
It's not Shaquille. Terrible. What's that guy's name? Basketball player, big dude.
Which one?
Shaquille O'Neal?
It's not Shaquille. He's a terrible guy. Just talks like this. I can't remember his name. Oh my word. Anyway, he
Charles
says
Barkley?
Charles.
Yes, Charles Barkley. Thank you, Sir Charles.
Oh.
He says there are only 5 jobs in the world that are worth anything: the farmer, the teacher, the doctor, the police officer or first responders, and the military. Everything else is just junk. Like, wow. I think
I also saw him. I think I saw him commenting yesterday on it was I don't know, maybe a Twitter clip or something like that. I'm trying to get this picture down. But he when he speaks to Charles Barkley, I believe, when he speaks to students, goes to events and speaks to students, he asks students in predominantly white schools, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they answer like doctor, engineer, scientist, some sort of a job or skill in that regard. And only like 10% want to be professional athletes. And when he goes to predominantly black schools, he asks the same question, and 90% want to be professional athletes. And Charles Barkley, professional athlete, is like, you guys are crazy. There's only like 400 people in the NBA. You are not going to be one of the top 400 people in the entire world. You need to have a plan for your life that is realistic and achievable. The top athletes are rare exceptions. So even he gives like good advice to kids. Like you need to have a plan to do science, to do engineering, to do something that can be profitable for you.
That makes me think of this story that Joey told me. His brother is a very good trombone player, one of the best, and he has been trombone instructor at University of Alabama, and now he's working at like the University of Illinois, I think at Champaign-Urbana or whatnot. But very good trombone player. And when he went through college, they were like, usually if you major in music, you major in music education. Okay.
Yep.
Very few.
Miles is doing.
Very few. That's what Kendra's going to do. Very few major in music performance, because like you said, that Charles Barkley said, there's only 400 people in the NBA. Those positions in orchestras, the big orchestras where you make a lot of money, you're in there until you die or retire. So those musicians are very few. So when you go into college and you're like, I want to be a performance major, they're like, they do like Charles Barkley did. Maybe you want to think about this. But his idea was he was going to get the performance major, and then he would have that, and then he could go back and get his teaching degree because he's already got.
Yeah.
And it ended up working out very well for him. But that's what that made me think of. I was like, because I'd never thought about that before. You always think of baseball players or basketball players, but if you want to major in music performance, that's just as hard of a freaking career to get into as it is for a professional baseball player.
My son, who is doing music education at Western, he's like, he and I have talked about this. I'm like, how many band director jobs are in the state of Kentucky?
Yeah.
We don't even go that big. Let's go for the county. How many band director jobs are in the county? We have one high school. We have one middle school.
Yeah, we have 3 in our county. Four maybe positions.
Yeah. And sometimes those jobs, like the previous band director from the high school was also the band director of the middle school. So 2 schools right next to each other. He taught all their music classes. I'm like,
right.
Okay, before we move on, guys, Brian on Rumble. Thanks for watching us on Rumble, Brian. Rumble is the best. He says that, would you believe he runs a coffee shop for his local swim team, but he doesn't drink coffee. Okay. But he also says about Barkley. I mean, I don't understand why people don't drink coffee. It doesn't make sense to me. Barkley has been put on deck because LeBron James has failed to control messaging. I don't know what that means. Brian, you got to come on the show sometime. It's now the Internet Dad's show, so we got more seats available. So let us know when you're free. Okay. All right. Let's
a coffee shop, man. We need this. I want some chai. You got some chai?
You and my wife, dude. You got to stop drinking sugar. You can't drink sugar.
When I get chai, I usually get the sugar-free chai. Chai is tea, dude. Chai is tea and steamed milk.
Yeah, but then don't they put like
sugar and cinnamon and a little honey?
Yeah.
My bad.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. We got a bunch of different kinds of news today. Let's check this out. Now, this is from slaynews.com. And before I even read this, I'm going to say, dear YouTube, this is from slaynews.com, substantiated by the NIH.gov. This is us reading the news. This is not opinions. Please don't.
Great.
This is the news. We're just reading the news.
Everybody watching on YouTube, go to rumble.com now.
Yep.
no comment sheet out.
According to Slay News, a Harvard study says COVID shots cause sudden deaths and strokes. Now, this is a Harvard study, and we've all seen just how good Harvard is in the last year. No gay jokes. A damning new study from some of America's most respected researchers has determined that COVID mRNA shots are causing surging cases of strokes and sudden deaths. That is not me saying that, and it's not Deacon saying that. Deacon might even just, cover his mouth a little bit. This case study was conducted by Harvard Medical School and chronicled soaring cases of fatal cerebral ischemia over the past 3 years. Cerebral ischemia is a form of deadly brain damage triggered by insufficient blood flow to the brain. Harvard researchers found the Moderna's COVID mRNA injections specifically caused the recent spike in the fatal disorder. Leading experts have been responding to the explosive study by raising the alarm about mRNA vaccines. I can't speak for you. Actually, I can't speak for Deacon. Deacon has never taken an mRNA vaccine. I don't know about Dave. I was part of the Pfizer study group, and I had no ill effects, but I also never got COVID.
Thank God.
Yeah.
You had no ill effects because JJ, you're my friend. I love you. And I think about that every time I come across one of these reports that are flooding coming out now. And I think, I pray that my friend JJ and his family are safe because he was a guinea pig on this.
Yeah. Now, you know, I also never let my kids take anything like this. If the doctor had said anything about it, I was like, no, you're not doing that. This hasn't been studied on children. I was in the test group. I could have been injured. Other people could have been injured. There was not enough. Unlike vaccines when we were kids, which were basically just tried out on people, and there weren't enough.
We
ill
are
effects over
opening up a
years.
whole bucket
I
here
know,
that
right?
me and Dave are both not even going to comment on.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
not even going to open my mouth on this one.
I am only bringing this up. I'm only putting this up here because this is from the NIH, National Laboratory of Medicine. And this article by these doctors, not me, says that fatal post-COVID mRNA vaccine associated with cerebral ischemia. So I honestly don't even know who's afraid of COVID these days, but I know that there's a lot of people that are. I don't know. It's dangerous. Talk to your doctor. Okay.
Or well, that's dangerous to talk to your doctor.
Yeah. Talk to your doctor. I don't know what to tell you.
Wait a minute. Let's see. Okay. Hang on.
Pray to
I had a
God.
couple of things for you before you get anywhere else. All right. So this come across Twitter yesterday. Let me see what this was again. This was I remember this. Okay. I'm trying to find the good stuff, the political stuff.
Did you want that one from Jim Ferguson? I don't know if you want to put that tweet. You had a tweet from Jim Ferguson up about the UK medical stuff.
I'm looking for that. Bring that up. Yeah, I can't find it anywhere.
Yeah, I got you. I have it grouped together.
Of course you do.
Because I'm so organized.
Because you have 90 things opened on your computer right now.
I do have 90 things open right here. Is this the post you're talking about, sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
Here you go.
Thank you. UK government admits COVID vaccinated children are 4,423% more likely to die of any cause and 13,633% more likely to die of COVID-19 than unvaccinated children. The UK government has quietly confirmed that the COVID-19 vaccines are killing children at an unprecedented rate. The shocking figures contained in an official report published just hours before Boris Johnson had announced his resignation as Prime Minister of the UK reveal COVID-19 vaccinated children are 4,423% more likely to die of any cause than unvaccinated children. Despite knowing this, just there you go. Read it. Just read it.
Okay. Now, full disclaimer: this post has a community note.
Okay.
And the community note on this post says that the article uses fake data claiming to be from the ONS for the quoted dates 8 triple vaccinated children and 184 unvaccinated children died. So it sounds like a very small sample group. And it also, now I'm not discounting this or whatever, but whatever this is
we're offering both sides. Right.
Yeah. The data set deaths occurring between January 1, 2021 and May 2022 edition of the data set. So
we all know about the community notes,
whoever Jim Ferguson is, he is saying one thing. I'm just reading it.
I don't know where I don't see where I put that. That wasn't what I was looking for.
Oh, okay.
But
all right.
That's all right.
Well,
okay. Let's just move off this topic because it's going to get us banned, and me and Dave don't want to talk about it at all. And
rumble.com/internet dads. There's a picture at the top, and there's a link in the description below.
go right over there next to. There you go.
That timing was great.
That we didn't even plan that. You pointed and it appeared. I was like, that was awesome.
All right.
I got one for you here, JJ, though.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Where is it? Okay. So this came out. I saw this Elon Musk tweet yesterday. And what do you run the latest version of Windows? Both? No, you don't.
I updated this morning.
You updated this morning? Dave, are you an Apple?
I am mostly Apple. I don't like their phones, but my laptop is definitely a MacBook.
You did send a message. You were getting a Windows laptop, though.
I did.
Yeah.
It's an old window. Yeah. It's an older one, but I think it is running the most recent version of Windows.
All right. So Satya Nadella, I might be pronouncing his name wrong, with Microsoft. He says that the Windows new PCs will have a photographic memory feature called Recall that will remember and understand everything you do on your computer by taking constant screenshots. Now watch this. Just listen to him here. This is not very long. It's like a minute.
How do we introduce memory, right? Photographic memory into what you do on the PC. And now we have it. So it's called Recall. It's not keyword search, right? It's semantic search over all your history. And it's not just about any document. We can recreate moments from the past, essentially.
Here's how it works. Windows constantly takes screenshots of what's on your screen, then uses a generative AI model right on the device, along with the NPU, to process all that data and make it searchable, even photos. I got to try it out. I searched brown leather bag. It came up in visual search. There's no place on this page that it says brown leather bag. It just knows because it sees this brown leather bag. There could be this reaction from some people that this is pretty creepy. Microsoft is taking screenshots of everything I do.
Yeah, I mean, that's why that you can only do it on the edge, right? So this is like, you have to put two things together. This is my computer. This is my recall, and it's all being done locally.
What do you think about that?
Still,
right, I got
and
one
just hear me out.
Wait a minute.
I
got one more thing to show you here real quick that goes hand in hand with this. Okay, hang on.
All right. Okay.
Those of you that have Netflix, go and search for Black Mirror. Okay, Black Mirror is like the Twilight Zone. Okay, it's a modern day Twilight Zone. Go down to the season 1. There, see, like season 1 has 3, 4, 6. It's very sporadic, but go down to season 1 and watch this one right here. The entire history of you that came out. I don't know, I watched it like 5 or 6 years ago. Watch this, the entire history of you. That is exactly what they've come up with, except it's an implant in your head. That guy is the first of it starts off with him and getting turned down for a job interview. So he's riding on the bus and he's recalling the whole thing in his head while he's sitting there on the bus, and he's noticing the little movements that the guy makes and he's picking out. Well, then he goes to a dinner and he starts noticing his wife and his friend are acting a certain way and doing certain little gestures. So the whole time he obsesses in his mind with recalling everything from his day and picking out, and he goes crazy because he obsesses over this stuff all the time because he has access to it.
I can only say that the people that work at NSA and DHS and CIA must just be like having to change their pants right now because they're just so excited. They're so excited that your computer is going to do their job and spy on you. There's no way
somebody is going to break that encryption. Somebody is going to break that encryption. They're going to hack into your computer, and they're going to see your recall.
Oh my God.
If we can get some really bad guys off that would be phenomenal.
Guaranteed this is going to be abused. The CIA's got NSA and CIA probably has guys in Microsoft right now that are like, oh, this is a really good idea.
What if they're the ones they are? Hey, here we have this idea for you, Microsoft. Go for it.
Oh my God. Turn it off immediately. You do not want recall. Oh my Lord. All right. Let's go with let's see. That's kind of like AI stuff, isn't it? But I'm not ready to do AI stuff yet. We got
that's my bad. I guess it was.
That's the problem. We have an update on the trial of Donald Trump. Okay, so you guys know, Alvin Bragg and company are prosecuting Trump for made up crimes that don't exist. They can't actually enumerate any actual crime they did, but whatever. He's still going to be guilty. Donald Cohen was the star witness for the prosecution. He kind of did a terrible job for them. And then the defense got to cross-examine Michael Cohen. And during the process of the cross-examination, Michael Cohen kind of admitted and testified that he stole something like $30,000 to $50,000 of money from the Trump organization. Directly asked on the stand, "Did you steal this money from the Trump organization?" And Cohen had to say yes. So Michael Cohen admits to stealing money from Donald Trump's company. The fixer, Michael Cohen, he calls himself a fixer. This guy thinks he's like mafia or something like that. I don't know what he thinks. I think he thinks he's like some sort of a character from a TV show. Deke's getting her playlist ready.
Yeah,
have you seen the trailer for Michael Cohen's TV show pitch? That's one of the things he's doing is he's been he's sadly no longer allowed to be a lawyer because of lying to a federal court and lying to Congress. He was disbarred, so he's not able to be a lawyer anymore, but that doesn't stop him from being a fixer. Let me show you.
I mean, hell, I'm a fixer. My lawnmower's broke after I had to get in there and fix a couple of things on the damn thing.
Where's the trailer?
So Dave, how are you today?
Peachy. I'm staying away from all the.
I know. I was sitting there thinking, I was like, we've picked all the stories that Dave's just going to lean back on today. And JJ's.
Thank you all for being
here. You were prepared.
Okay. I can't find the trailer right now. Maybe later. Maybe we'll find it later.
Did you vote today, Dave? Have you got out and voted yet?
As
you guys voting right now?
I can't vote.
It's Kentucky It's a primary in Kentucky and another state today.
Yeah. I don't have anything to vote for today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me tell you who's on the Republican primary in Kentucky. Republican primary, Republican Party primary election, 1st Congressional District, President of the United States, Ryan W. Binkley, Vivek Ramaswamy, Ron DeSantis, Donald J. Trump, Chris Christie, Nikki R. Haley, and uncommitted. Over on the Democratic Party, the 1st Congressional District, Joseph R. Marianne Williamson, Dean Phillips, he said questioning, and uncommitted. So there you go.
Let's look forward to the uncommitted turnout for the Democrats in the Kentucky primary, and that looks pretty good.
One of my callers this morning said something about it because there's this Tom T. Hall song. Tom T. Hall, fellow Kentuckian and the storyteller. He is a great writer, musical writer. He has this song called "The Monkey That Became President," and I usually play that on election day and whatnot in the primary. So I played it this morning, and it's about this monkey that was born and learned how to walk and talk and became the president and solved all the world's problems, and there was peace on earth. And then he woke up from the dream, and then he thought a monkey could be a better president, and instead of the people up there making monkeys of you and me. It's got a funny little. So I got on and was talking about that this morning, and I was like, my piece of advice from Papa Rudd here is that you might want to keep who you voted for to yourself, because 20 years ago we could have a civil conversation about that, but anymore you might get punched in the face if you say who you vote for. So I was like, that's just a little tip.
Well, you
from
might
your
lose
old
a
Papa.
job. You might lose a job.
You might lose your job. Absolutely.
Okay. We have one more little story, guys. A political story. I think we'll pretty much be done with it with political stuff after this. Apparently, the Biden administration's DEA has admitted that Mexican cartels are actually operating in the United States of America, and not just in Texas. They may be operating in all 50 states, including Kentucky. So you guys might have cartel.
We could have told you that, dude.
But that's why we don't talk about cartels.
Yeah, exactly.
We know the reach.
Look. Yeah. If you have fentanyl in your state, then the Mexican cartel is probably in your state.
Yeah, the Mexican cartel is in your state.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
All right.
can we get to
Easy
the other
today.
fun
Goodness.
stuff because we got 25
Yeah,
minutes
fun
left.
stuff.
Oh, wait a
Fun
minute.
stuff,
I
please.
got one more. This one popped up this morning. I
Oh,
thought this was
yeah.
crazy. Sorry. One more.
Okay.
Dave, you could actually talk about this one probably.
Okay.
This is crazy, and I didn't know anything about this, and I saw it pop up this morning. So this is a robbery scam that went wrong in Texas a little bit ago, but they're coming back out with it. I don't know why. I can't remember why the news story said, but in order now listen to this and here just watch the story. The story explains it a lot better than the other here. So this is about a minute and a half.
This is video that we showed you in January of what looks like a robbery turned homicide when police say a bystander shot and killed the robber and left the scene. But now we know this robbery was a setup. The man killed is 22-year-old Rashad Scott. Court records say William X. Winfrey paid Scott to fake the robbery so that the fake victims could apply for U visas. Records say police found 2 other fake robberies Winfrey set up before this one.
He didn't deserve what happened.
So this guy was setting up these fake robberies and robbing these people, and then these people could go and get their new little visas or whatnot, and it was all set up and fake. But look how this news story has listen to her. This is the guy who had set up both robberies already set up, and he's the one that got killed. All right, this is his fiance.
He didn't deserve what happened to him. He was making a dumb decision. I'm not defending him, of course, but he didn't deserve to die.
I'm sorry that she lost someone she loved, and he did make a dumb decision, but there are consequences to dumb decisions. And one of those consequences that he made when setting up a fake robbery in a public place in Texas for all of freaking 50 states was the fact that there probably is someone with a gun, especially in Texas, where you sons of bitches are not afraid of anybody or anything.
Well, there's a lot of guys in Texas with guns, and some of those guys are literally waiting to get robbed.
Exactly. So I just want to see how this Fox television show, listen to how they spin this.
Chade Beverly, Scott's fiance, is left to raise their 2 kids alone. Winfrey's now charged with murder in Scott's death.
You get to see your child, so your child can come see you behind the glass. Rashad will never see his kids again.
Rashad could have seen his kids if he wasn't committing
you
crimes
guys were committing fraud.
Yeah.
And actually robbing people, even though it was consensual.
Is lethal force justified in this case?
That's a good question.
That's gonna be my question.
Now there's more to the story.
But Beverly says she also wants to see the shooter, Jesus Vargas, charged.
There's the shooter. The problem with Jesus, the shooter, is he left the scene after that.
That's a problem.
And he was a convicted felon who was not supposed to have a firearm.
Also can't do that.
Actually behind the trigger. He's the one who made the decision.
Court documents say he told police that he fled the scene because he was on probation, meaning he wasn't allowed to have a gun.
But listen, right here's the kicker at the end of the story.
Nobody's really talking about the main issue here, and that's gun laws.
Nobody's really talking about the main issue here, and that's gun laws. No, the main issue here is that your fiance was committing felonies, and he was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
No, he made that wrong place, and
so was the shooter.
If he was committing that robbery while armed, then he presents, whether anybody else knows it or not, he presents a public danger to anybody in the area.
Even if he's armed with a Nerf gun. Even if he's armed with a Nerf gun.
Right.
You don't know what it is.
Depending on your state, lethal force is permittable if you're defending yourself or defending others. It depends on the state. So you got to know the laws in your state. Obviously, a felon can't have a gun, and he shouldn't be doing that. On the other hand, the other guy shouldn't have been robbing people with a gun either. We don't know if he had a gun or not. That woman, I believe, is being charged with murder because she's an accessory to the scheme. And the scheme was this. The scheme was you sell a service to these illegal immigrants. Hey, if we rob you, then you're the victim of a crime. And while you're the victim of a crime, the U.S. government allows you to stay in the United States until the resolution of your crime. But then you'll never testify as to who did it, so it'll never be resolved. Free permanent residence. That's the scheme he was selling illegal immigrants.
All right, this
He's
is
not selling
just
that anymore.
slightly connected, but I just want to illustrate this for our audience because I like educating.
Oh,
You have to
let
give me
me-
permission to share.
Yeah, here you go.
You have permission.
Thank you. All right. Is it on the screen now? I can't tell.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah,
perfect.
it is.
That is a real gun. That is
one
a
on top or the
real-
one on the bottom.
It's modified, so the bottom one slides into the top one. That is a real gun.
Wow.
Like, this is why people.
Wow.
Yeah, just let it sink in for a minute. That's bad. People.
So those BB guns about 15, it's probably about 20 years ago. I was over in the big station in Paducah. We had this story of there was a kid in town that was walking around with a handgun, and the police, like, he walked into building, he had a handgun, this kid, and the police came and responded and all this crap, and the boy didn't know what was going on. Guns were drawn and all this stuff, and it was a freaking, like, a little BB gun or a little BB pistol or something. And then that's when they were like, it was painted. It was, because they're supposed to have the red on it and whatnot to identify the orange tip and stuff. And it didn't because they had painted over it and stuff. Yeah, it doesn't matter anymore. In my hunting, so when I was 10 years old, 37 years ago, I took the hunter safety course. It was a 3-day course. You get your orange card. I can remember exactly. You probably got yours in your wallet. And we were just talking about this the other day with JJ.
Yeah.
If you're a hunter, you've probably got your orange card in your wallet still to this day. They always said, don't do this. Get into the habit of not even pointing this at somebody. Like this.
Yeah, don't.
That's what they
That
said
could be
in
a
that
threatening
class.
motion.
Don't even get into the habit of doing this.
I saw a video. I can't pull it up
anymore either.
I can't pull the video up, but I saw a video yesterday of a Glock like plug-in system where you take a 9mm Glock or whatever kind of rifle it is, and you fold it into this chassis. You just literally plug it into this chassis, just like that Nerf gun, and it becomes like a rifle. It's probably not a very good rifle.
I watch these guys on YouTube that test that these guys all around the world make new shotgun slugs of certain types, and they take those designs and they test them with a shotgun. It's amazing the freaking type of ammunition that is out there. If you think it's just a slug that's coming out of these guns anymore, you are way, way behind, man. Way behind. It's a cool show.
Guys, do not commit crimes and do not rob people. Don't even pretend to rob people. At least not in Texas.
All right,
you've
got this Vatican story, and I've got another story I want to share, but it's going to be an
Vatican story. I can probably comment on this one.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Here we go. We saved this from yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, the Vatican is to publish new guidance on investigating supernatural phenomenon. Researchers say the Vatican is collaborating on a UFO cover-up with the U.S. military. Researchers. Okay. On May 17th, the Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faith will present new guidance for discerning between apparitions and other supernatural phenomena. Two speakers for the press conference will be Cardinal Victor Manuel Fernandez, prefect of whatever, and Armando. Yeah, right. Okay.
Oh, Armando is too. That's good.
Yeah, that's good. Vatican officials have not addressed guidelines for evaluating reports on supernatural events since February of 1978. They are way behind the times on providing guidance. We need Catholic guidance on spooks and UFOs.
Where's my no comment sign?
Library. Open the library.
Yes, 17th was a couple days ago.
Yes,
we should have had that guidance. The Vatican has been studying UFOs for decades and even has its own cardinal appointed to deal with the first contact.
That's cute, Dave. Did you hear it said decades? I think you said that word wrong. That's centuries. is what that word is. It's not decades.
Well, there are
It's
decades inside of centuries.
millennia. They've been studying
There
it
are
for
decades
millennia.
It could be like 400 decades.
Oh, hold on. Wait, is this a quote from this guy? I think this is all a quote from this guy, David Grush. I believe this is the guy that testified before Congress, and I thought he was totally full of shish when he testified before Congress.
Well,
I've
you
spoken
are
with
not. You
so-
are a skeptic. You have a very your open-mindedness to this kind of stuff is like this big. I'm just telling you as your friend. I'm not
extraordinary
insulting you.
claims require extraordinary evidence.
I'm
And
telling you.
But
also,
who
does
says
I
it's
have
extraordinary? Who
So
says
does
it's
experience.
extraordinary?
Right. Who says
Well,
it's
it's
the
not-
only
it's
reason it's
not ordinary.
extraordinary is because it's not happened to you in your ordinary life.
Right.
That's right.
I mean, if you see
I
this
am the
every
most
single
ordinary
day,
person.
but if you see this every day, it's not extraordinary. Then it's just this is something
Yeah.
that needs to be
JJ,
understood.
I
It's
know
not-
you won't. I know you don't believe me, but
Okay.
my dad's house was haunted. We believed it was my grandmother. I saw a full body apparition 2 times that I will go. I've had my co-host on my classic rock show. Every Halloween, he would make me tell the story so that he could call me crazy and make fun of me on the air, and that was fine. It was a bit that
What
we
a
did.
jerk.
He was a good guy. He was my favorite guy to
Okay.
work with because he,
All right.
but he done that so we could make a skit out of it because he did not believe me at all. And that's completely fine. I don't care if no one believes me. I know what I saw and I know what I have heard in my house a million times. Joey, who we were friends in high school that used to spend the night at my house, he has had experiences in my house that he forgot about until his ass come back 30 years later and we started talking about it. He's like, oh yeah, I remember that. So if you had the experiences that I did and could not explain what it was, I think your door would been open just a little more. But because you have never had any kind of extraordinary experience, your door hasn't been opened as much, and I don't fault you for that, and I don't want you to have an extraordinary experience because it really freaked me out, and I mean it still freaks me out to this day. But I've learned to accept the fact that I know what I saw, and I don't
Okay.
care if anyone believes me.
Dave, you got something there. What do you got there?
Yeah. Can you see it?
Yeah, here you go. Go ahead.
All right. I got permission again. So this is my neighbor's house. This is known as the Miracle House in our town.
Ooh, that's your neighbor's house?
Next door
I
neighbor's
want to
house.
go there.
Ed and Lorraine Warren have been there.
Really?
Yes. I've been
is
in
that
it
Ghost Hunters
numerous.
people?
Ed and Lorraine Warren,
They're on the
Amityville Horror,
upper
Annabelle Lee.
echelon of
They were
but they
whack jobs.
Yeah, they're kind of, but you
I think
can't
they stumbled
dis-
into some stuff too.
Yeah, I'm with him. They're whack jobs, but I think they've accidentally stumbled into some real crap over the years that
Yeah. And
yeah.
so everybody knows this house is haunted. There's stories galore. I've been in and out of this house. And as a minister, I've been called into people's houses to pray over things that are just unexplained.
Mhm.
If I'm going to call myself a Christian and I'm going to believe in God and angels and demons, I am a hypocrite if I am not open to supernatural stuff, extraordinary stuff that we just can't explain, because at the very minimum, Satan will do whatever he can to confuse the tar out of us. At the very minimum, it might be a hoax from Satan or from demons or whatever, but it could also be Aunt
Something.
Mildred trying to get your attention.
That's my grandmother's name, dude, that we thought that is in our house. That's so flippin' weird that you just said that name. Her name was Mildred. And my mother saw it in the house 4 or 5 times, and she didn't say anything until I brought it up, and she said,
at the Miracle House,
wow.
Eve is the name of the ghost there, Evie. There is a picture of, or there used to be a picture of her parents, and anytime those pictures were moved, disturbed, things would go. The pictures were eventually destroyed, and things went wild for a little while. So someone painted a picture of the house and put that up, and that soothed her. And Jason, my next door neighbor, he ended up putting a TV in front of the picture. He leaves the picture there, but a TV is in front, and everything's nice and cool. So there's some crazy stuff that's happened.
We should, you know what? We should investigate spooky stuff more.
And
okay?
I took that picture.
Look, I'm going to admit, I don't believe in UFOs. I don't believe in aliens. I could be persuaded to believe that there's like demonic influence maybe, but I think more often than not, you have people that have an issue. You have con men, you got liars, you got a bunch. So most of the time it's either disingenuous or it's something else, or there's some reasonable explanation.
I love you, buddy, and I hope that one day your eyes get open, and when the day that you say I believe in ghosts and aliens is my last day on the show, because I know that my job is done,
dude. But like our brains are like so susceptible.
So, no, they're not. Our brains are this small, and we see this much vision, and we hear this much. Okay, so we don't have.
No, hold on. I got a story for you. I got a story. I got
another one too.
When I was a kid, 16. Okay, I worked for a friend of the family as a janitor. We went into dealerships and all this kind of stuff, and we cleaned up. And I waxed them off the floor, did all kinds of stuff like that, clean out bays, all kinds of stuff like this. Right. And there was this one time we had the van doors open, front door, side door, getting chemicals in and out and moving stuff around or whatever. And I walked from the side door past the back door and walked back to the side door or whatever. And one of the doors closed on its own. Nobody was there. And I thought I saw something out of the side of my eye. And and then the boss, he said, oh, that's the ghost or whatever. Now he's maybe messing around with me. And I was like, what? Now, I still don't think that even that was real. And I saw that.
Wait a minute. But now that you said one thing in there, that's the key. Every time, and talk to other people that have said they've seen ghosts. Every single time I thought I saw it. Yeah. I thought I saw it. I would describe it as this. You know, when you see something out of your peripheral vision and you think it's somebody, it's like that, but it's not in your peripheral vision. It's like, did I just see somebody? Every time. And you said that.
Yes, but I also don't think it was real.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's cool.
Okay.
That's very cool. I think that's fine.
All right. Okay.
I respect that from you. You respect that you think that I'm a nutball, and we love each other.
I don't think you're crazy. I just have a fundamental problem with like accepting anything on its face when people say stories. You know what I mean?
I vibrate on a different frequency than you vibrate, JJ.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I got one.
Another story you want to do.
So
Go ahead.
if maybe this kind of gets you going a little bit, or maybe you've got a topic that gets you going and it kind of raises your blood pressure a little bit.
Yeah.
We here at the Internet Dad Show, we don't have it on our store just yet. But we are coming soon. We're going to offer what we call primal rage therapy. Okay. Primal rage therapy is what we're going to call it from the Internet Dads. And let me just give you an example of what you will be seeing. Okay, for those of you that don't have video, what you just heard, JJ is just in shock.
200 years ago, they would have been all burned at the stake.
19th Amendment, universal suffrage.
That was a bunch of women in the middle of the forest that are liberal women that have spent thousands of dollars to have a screaming session where they bash sticks into the ground
Oh,
to
I
deal
thought they
with
were
their
reenacting Lord of the
emotions.
Flies.
They did it
They're
on
dealing with their
video
emotions.
willingly, and they acted like crazy people. And they knew it was being recorded. Why did they do that?
As
Why?
someone who has spent 45 plus years as the person that always sticks their stuff into a bottle, their emotions into a bottle, to where the bottle eventually sprays. And when it bursts, what happens to the liquid in the bottle? It frees up only about this much. It doesn't empty the bottle. It only frees up a little bit. So you have a little bit more to go in and a little bit more before it eventually sprays again. And one day I was godsmacked across the face with this realization that this is what I do. So now I have found that this getting a baseball bat and hitting a tree or getting a stick to get my rage out, to get your rage out, that is counterproductive. You are not getting your rage out. You're allowing the rage in. And your responsibility is to control that rage. All right? Not react to the rage. So my personal life experiences, I'm trying not to rage anymore.
Yeah.
Like I did this morning. I didn't rage this morning, but I reacted. I reacted this morning for about 20 seconds.
Yeah.
All right. Before I realized, oh, this was wrong. Let me delete that.
Yeah.
So there you go. I just thought you'd get a kick out of the liberal women screaming. And honestly, we've got LBL here in Kentucky. If any of you liberal women that are watching the show that hate us, I will get some sticks. I will get some acorns that you can throw at trees. We can figure out some.
Give you some
Don't do the acorns.
seclusion.
Don't do the acorns. You're gonna.
Well, if they throw the acorns,
they're gonna summon Sasquatch.
They'll summon Sasquatch. But if any of these liberal, wait a minute, I got a great idea. If any of these liberal women want to get rage out, we can get you big logs to cut to about like this size. And then you split those logs into 6 different pieces from the top. And that will get you all the rage out. And we'll even dispose of the logs that firewood
on your behalf.
On your behalf. We'll donate it to a freezing family on your behalf.
Yes. I like this idea.
For a minimal fee. We'll actually
do 4,000. We'll do 2,000.
We may video document the experience for you.
We'll sell it.
YouTube.
We'll actually sell it because we got to pay for it, but we'll make a portion of our proceeds goes to.
I've heard of primal scream therapy before. I just don't.
Rage rooms.
Yeah. Doesn't seem to work for them though, does it? I mean, I don't know. Maybe those are very happy women. It seemed like they were. They did not seem like they were very happy women.
I don't think they're very happy.
I'll go back and look and see if there's.
Are we going to save the other stories?
We're gonna have to because we got conference call coming up in 2 minutes. So
all right. So song of the day before you get the jokes ready. Song of the day is a great one because I couldn't find my one today, so I'm doing the one that Dave gave me, and this one's a great one. Remember, Everybody's Free to Wear Sunscreen, JJ? That song that came out in the late 90s, early 2000s, where the guy's like, "Ladies and gentlemen of the class of '99, wear sunscreen." If I could offer you only one tip for the future, sunscreen would be it. Have you never heard that? You've heard it.
It was a speech, and then someone threw a track underneath of it, and it is so well.
It was a hit.
Oh my,
it was a hit in the 90s. Yeah, Baz Luhrmann. I played that on the radio. Yeah.
Okay, so this is like a spoken word thing with a track laid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
You've heard it. You've heard it. If you listen to it, you've heard it. But it's pretty good. So you'll have to check that one out. Awesome. Messages for the future in our songs this week.
Link in the description below to our Discord server where you can find that and many, many more videos and songs Yeah. All right. Okay. Dave's looks like Dave's timer's run out for his what do you call that? What is that thing called? Your sound thing. Yeah, you're crisp. Dave, you want to do? We end the show every single day with jokes, hilarious jokes. Please, Dave, go first.
Okay, so this past weekend, no joke, my son had appendicitis, had his appendix ripped out. Most people have vomiting. He had diarrhea. Sorry, son, spoiled that here. But I told him it's okay. Diarrhea runs in the family.
That's kind of gross.
Yeah. Well,
All
it also
right.
runs in the genes, but
Oh,
Oh my lord. Two.
two.
All right.
Two.
All right. Here.
it's pretty gross, Steve. That's
Deacon.
hilarious. Yes. Me?
Your turn. Yes,
Are we
sir.
saving the worst joke for last? Okay.
Oh, no, I'm happy to go on.
I thought we started off with the worst joke.
I'm happy to go. I'm happy to
No,
go next.
no. Do you guys know why there are no Walmarts in Iraq?
No, I have no idea. Why?
Because everything is a target.
Oh, listen, I know you guys are Middle Eastern. You don't have to boo. It was just a joke. Take it easy.
Come on, people.
All right. Hey, do you guys know what a computer does when it's tired?
No.
It crashes. Yeah. I paid them off. All right, bye, everybody.
Politicians and talking heads lying left and right. You can help us bring facts into the light. Don't let your daughter lose her next swim meet to a psychopath dude with fake teeth. Tune in now to your To That Show. JJ and Deacon, they're the ones that know. Subscribe quick, the Squid Monsters